Brian Booth Craig, yes. Cape Town has been keeping you very busy. You've been up and down. Tell me about it. How has it been and what have you been up to?
So I've been here teaching sculpture classes for a couple weeks, but also making some sculpture as well. This is my second time in Cape Town within the last year, and I intend to come back and teach more classes. But the two classes I taught this time were a figure sculpture class, which is a 1-week intensive class, and a portrait sculpture class as well. Once those were finished, then I had time to do my own work, and I spent about a week and a half making a couple of sculptures. When I bring a model into the studio, I don't have any particular idea or specific idea that I want to work with, right? The model always gives me that information. And so my instructions with the model are always very simple. Just be yourself and make sure that they representing their personality, and then I react to that. I want to remove myself from the final product. Whenever I'm working with models, I don't want them to feel like my instructions are the only important thing. I want them to be sort of collaborating with me in that process. So for example, Ishmael, the subject, he has very strong facial features that I think are really useful sculpturally when composed with the rest of the body, right? So the way I have the head tilted and leaning back, it gives him a look of both strength, but also judgment toward the person that's looking at him. And his features really work with that idea. I always make sure that they know that their agency in this activity is part of the final piece. Otherwise, you don't have that interaction. It's just me voyeuristically gazing at somebody, right? Which doesn't really hit on the notes that I'm trying to hit on. When you're looking at somebody and you're looking at their whole body, you're really doing something really intimate. You know, that is something that I find with a live model is so much different from, say, using a photograph. One of the things I like about the nude form is that it strips the subject down to its core essence, right? To its sort of the primal qualities that we all have. It's also a very vulnerable state to be in. It brings out certain characteristics and reactions, both with the subject that I'm sculpting, but also for myself. It's immediately unrealistic. It's not a normal experience to just walk in on somebody standing there nude in a particular pose, particularly the poses that I use, because they're not depicting anything in particular that you would recognize. Whenever I have the experience of something happening that surprises me, and I feel like I didn't get in the way, it just kind of emerged from some other source, that seems like a good sign to me that it's successful. I don't think that artists speak for things. I'm not speaking for any of the models that I collaborate with. I'm speaking about the experience of being with them. If you're doing it properly, in my opinion, in a contemporary fashion, what you're stating is that there is an other there, that there is an experience of another person that you can never completely enter into, right? That my experience of them is mine, and even my experience of them is filtered through all kinds of associations and experiences and preconceptions that I have. And so that's what it's about. It's about the act of looking. I'm representing a space between myself and the personality that's there. Part of the reason I like making art, and part of the reason I like working with live models and meeting people and having that kind of interaction, is that art is finished by a viewer. Art is finished in the completion of the conversation with a viewer looking at it and responding to it. The experience of being with the finished piece is meant to be a proxy for my experience with the model and that act of looking and really engaging with them.
Amazing.
We have a lot to talk about next time I come back.
Yes, we do. So we'll see you there.
Awesome.
Put your tools in the air